Hello, trading is closed on April 14th, 2021. We always start with our disclaimer. Let's do that. This is my plan for tomorrow, the 15th of April, 2021. I can be completely wrong, so trade at your own risk. Please follow the rules of my channel. My email is listed here. Look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. And tomorrow has an early low as well. Here's your early low. It's a split early low, which is common in this pattern. Tends to be rally in the morning, a counter trend drop in the middle of the day, then a rally with a high in the final hour. Usually it's a positive day. When it isn't, it's a sign of weakness and leads to further declines. The only thing that would invalidate that is to gap and overtake this high. I think that's pretty unlikely because this is pretty much all you need for a high at the end of the leg. We said yesterday all that was missing was a sharp move down. I'm assuming that's it. It's clearly an impulse. This isn't overlapping. You never know for sure because you can always gap up and take this high out and the whole pattern's killed. Only way to know for sure is to undercut some of the prior lows, but this is really all that was missing. We said that the ideal situation would be to move down smartly at the open. That clearly didn't happen. We closed a little change. But when this pattern's weak, and you won't know that till tomorrow's open, which could invalidate everything. When this pattern's weak, it leads to further weakness. Well, I don't think any of these Fibonacci relationships have changed. We had our target at 41.36, the high of this move so far. What I think will stay is 41.51. That's less than 0.5%, which in the scheme of things is close enough for me. You can kind of calculate some price targets for a drop here, assuming that we confirm this, but you have to undercut this low. That's a long way down. You can take wave A, you could also measure it from here, and probably won't get 38.2, but even that would be substantial. But you have targets at least in the 36 and 3500s and possibly even into 3200s. I'm not brave enough to predict that at this time, but if it is the end of the leg, those are certainly within range. We do have some higher targets. During the day, MEJT gave an ultimate sell signal, but there was an optional higher target. We got the minimum, got the higher target, typically get more than the minimum. System marked the move as false, gives us a target of 41.48.35. In the afternoon, said this rally was false, also has this drop as false, gives us a target of 41.44.43. Now typically at major changes in trend, MEJT likes to leave a failed target or two, so I'd be happier if these didn't print. But the system is calling for these again. If they don't print, that's just further confirmation of what could be the end of this leg. Tomorrow's pattern has early low. We could still gap up. Yesterday we said all we needed to complete the criteria for a major high was to see a sharp move down. It's pretty likely, I think, today was it. It's negative. We closed negative on the same day as a new all-time high. Today's normally bullish pattern was bearish, so unless we gap and promptly overtake the day's high, we should see lower prices. But it is positive we have higher targets. Again, they may fail to print, and there's a drop all day which closed over the midday lows. But again, if those fall early, that doesn't mean anything. So technically the signals are mixed, but this is pretty negative stuff if we don't invalidate it fast by taking out these highs. And if this drop continues apace, there are much lower price targets. Now this is the weekly chart. This week isn't over, but if we close down for the week, we have only 2 more days. If we get a reversal, a bar involving the upper Bollinger Band, there's a price target of a challenge, not necessarily a touch of the lower band. This lower band moves, but right now it's in about 35.91. So once again, we have potential to go in the 35 or 3600s if we get follow through of today's move. So this is all pretty negative stuff. Tomorrow has the early low. We have higher targets. Until you get confirmation, you can't get you can't bet the house on this. But as far as criteria for a top go, this is about as good as it gets, if you ask me, based on the sentiment indicators, the Fibonacci patterns, and the wave count. Nothing's a lock. This isn't a lock, but this has a high likelihood of being the end of the leg up. Could be invalidated tomorrow, but I bet you it won't be, and that's today's call.